Analysis, a natural language processing model for social media reviews mining, will be presented by Dr. Asif Nawaz, Assistant Professor in UIIT. So, over to Yasir Nawaz sir. Can you hear me?
जी बिल्कुल मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, आ रही है आपकी आवाज. Please start.
Okay, please allow me to share my slides.
Share.
Just enable me. I will join to share my slides.
सर एड्स आपको दिए मैंने शेयर करने करनी.
जी थैंक यू. जी स्लाइड्स सबको नजर आ रही हैं?
जी. Please continue.
Okay. First of all, I am very thankful to Directorate of Advanced Studies who gave me an opportunity that I am going to share my expertise related to my research and related to sentiment analysis and social media mining. And secondly, I am also thankful to UIIT, University Institute of Information Technology, where I am serving as an assistant professor, who also gave me the opportunity that at this forum I am going to share my expertise related to my domain. So today the presentation topic is sentiment analysis, a natural language processing model from social media review mining. The contents of my presentation is introduction, motivation, then application and sentiment analysis process, sentiment analysis possible research directions, and sentiment analysis software that are frequently available across the internet to use, and of course my publications and the work done and research point of views inside the sentiment analysis will be the contents of today's presentation. First of all, I will give a brief introduction about sentiment analysis and its relationship with the social media. So we all know that as technology advances, people around the globe are always trying to connect with one another through social media forums, where they are going to share their information, they are building relationships with one another, and they know what's going on around there. These information that are shared across the social media is a very valuable asset that are further used for the analysis, prediction, and of course determining that whether something is good for me or not. So on the basis of these shared information and on the basis of these valuable suggestions, one can understand that whether a product, whether anything around the world is beneficial to me or not. And sentiment analysis, of course, is the way to analyze these reviews and sentiments and to help people to know better for their life. What is a sentiment analysis? It's a single line explanation that will help identifying the orientations of people, identifying the opinion in a piece of text. For example, if you are interested to watch a movie, so when you see its reviews, its comments, you can easily identify that what type of movie this will be and whether it will charm you or not. For example, different type of feelings across the people where they express it in their emotions and text can help someone to generalize the wider set of views about that movie. A movie can be fabulous, the movie stars, and whether it's horrible, whether it's of my choice or not, it all could be calculated by using sentiment analysis. Different people may abbreviate these terms in different ways. For example, in some research areas, it could be abbreviated as an opinion extraction. where in others it could be opinion mining, sentiment mining, and subjectivity analysis. All these are almost relevant to the term sentiment analysis process. So a sentiment can be used in different moods inside the literature. For example, if you are talking about a movie about an entertainment, so we can easily classify, says that it could be a positive or a negative. But when we are talking about a product, then sentiment will play a role to know that whether this product is good or bad. But in case of a public sentiment, its tone is almost changed for a confidence. While in a politics, it would be the vote of candidates to show that whether he will pass or fail by taking the user reviews across the social media. So prediction, when we are talking about a prediction and market trends, so then it will be a ranking, how a product is ranked and how someone is feeling good or bad about that product. As far as the research levels are concerned, then a sentiment analysis is usually computed at 3 levels. It could be either at aspect level, where each single aspect, single feature of a term is taken as a sentiment, and then it's calculated that whether the whole topic is positive or negative. It could be at a sentence level, where whole of the sentence is calculated, and it could be at document level. But at the end, the goal of the sentiment analysis is actually to polarize the things, to say that whether overall things were positive or negative. It should be categorized, polarized on the basis of aspects, sentences, or at document level into 3 classes, into 2 classes, or maybe sometime more wider, like more positive, less positive, positive, more negative, less negative, could be also of that part. So what's the motivation behind this topic? Why it's so interesting to humanity and people that everyone is taking interest in that? The motivation is very simple. When you are going to bazaar and want to buy some things, it's become very necessary for you to know in advance that whether these things could be beneficial to you or not. So this idea is actually transformed into a machine, and then we are get motivated to say that whether a machine can be so intelligent that he will guide you that whether this thing is good or bad to you. So if a machine could be so intelligent, then obviously that will be the role of a sentiment analysis who take a reviews and will train the machines to do such beneficial decisions in the life of a human. Its application is not limited up to single point. It's a diverse in nature. For example, whenever there is a need to promote something across the social media, sentiment analysis is always available. For example, once you put some sort of a drive across the social media, like say no to plastic of the government, or other ideas that are being plotted as a drive on the social media, it's much popularly spread across the social media, and that reviews that have been obtained on that idea were become very valuable to the persons and to the people. So its application to promote something is more widely. Secondly, obviously, sentiment analysis is very beneficial for product review recommendations, where documents are ranked. There is an example where customer satisfaction have been measured by taking the reviews of a people about any product. So its application, its second application, major application, I would say that is in market and industries where products are measured, and organizations and industries are trying to boost their products by taking these reviews and analysis. And obviously in our agriculture department and agriculture university, of course, we are here at agriculture university, its application is much more better. For example, now there are much more chat boards are available that can, from where a farmer can put their comments and views about their lands and farms, whatever. And these comments and reviews are maybe beneficial to the farmers of some other areas who have no idea about that work. So a chatbot is typical example of review mining and sentiment analysis where one can place his expertise and other are taking benefit from that expertise. Of course, in a marketing where you want to know the consumer attitudes and trends, that could be also across the markets and industries, could also be the application of sentiment analysis and opinion mining process. And another application is about a politics where politicians want to know about the voter views, whether the voters are expecting that he will be qualified or not. By taking the reviews of a people across a different forums, one can know that whether I am a potential candidate, whether I could pass the election or not. So this could also be a political and a social gathering where people are trying to find a same-minded people, that whether their minds are matching or not, they spread something across that, and reviews have been collected on that to minimize and analyze that work. So these are some of the well-known applications, and not only limited to this, there are much more applications that could be helpful where sentiment analysis play a very crucial role. So this was about a general discussion that I put to know about the applications and as well as the awareness of the sentiment analysis. Now I'm going to present the next very important phase of this work, that is the sentiment analysis process. Actually, when we are talking from research point of view, so the things that we've discussed yet is very much interesting, but how it could be done, what will be the method, what will be the process that a sentiment analysis adopted when it goes to predict, when it goes to analyze something. The process is actually a simple one, but it's fully a computer dependent, where it is divided into three major phases. In the very first phase, as you've seen, a person sitting in front of computer is actually a person of an organization who gathered reviews about his product, about his organization, or about anything that he want to analyze. So these reviews are very important, but obviously there are duplications, there are repeated reviews, fake opinions are over there. So the process of sentiment analysis begins from the first phase of that is collection of reviews. Once you collect the reviews, that has been stored in a database and pre-processed. Pre-processed means that slang, repeated and fake opinions have been eliminated. So it goes to a pre-processing process where it is pre-processed. After that, we will collect a pure 100% correct reviews. It's obviously it's a machine learning process, and it has many type of algorithms are involved over there to pre-process the whole text and the reviews. So after that, and another process come arise, that is the feature extraction process. Obviously, as I've told you, that there are three different types of sentiment analysis. One at aspect level, after there, and another method is a sentence level and document levels. So here is the phase where you will apply the proper method. If you are if you are applying an aspect level sentiment analysis, then obviously you will filter out the important features of from that reviews. But if you are taking it as a document level, as a sentence level, then you will take each review as a separate entity. And if you are working it as a document level, then you will make a group of reviews where similar type of reviews will be placed in each group. And then you will obviously, once you do this step, this is called feature extraction process. Once you do that process, then after that you will transform your pure features into a classifier or into analysis model, and that will perform the final analysis on that reviews to decide whether the final polarity is positive, negative, or neutral. So the whole process is majorly divided into 4 phases: data collection, pre-processing, feature extraction, and finally classification, analysis. This is actually the broader 4 phases of sentiment analysis process. Possible directions of research are too many. Obviously, it's a game of reviews. You will collect reviews and opinion of a people. So the first and the most important research dimension where people can work, where people can provide their expertise is the language problem. Obviously, when someone is try to get reviews, the nature of reviews may be varies. If he is an English person, his reviews will be totally in English, and if he is a Pakistani or Urdu speaker, then his reviews obviously will be in Urdu form. Arabic, Chinese are much filled with the reviews, and obviously the platform where you can place your reviews is also dependable. So the one important research direction is to take all type of reviews and to synchronize it into one major type of language platform that will further be pre-processed. This could be the one possible direction. Another possible direction could be the NLP, natural language processing, because each language has own subjective, objective, and noun type procedure. Once we call is a tokenization process where different terms have been split down into different pieces like subjectivity, objectivity, and to nouns, pronouns, etc. So the language processing problem could be another possible research direction where you can easily provide your expertise. The third and the foremost research problem, research directions of a sentiment analysis could be the finding of fake and bug reviews. Obviously, if you launch a product and each and every person tries to place his or her comments on that, so there may be possibility that a person may have no idea about that product, but he tries to put his opinion. So this could be considered as a fake opinion because that person has no expertise about that product, and his opinion will be less valuable. So finding out such type of bugs and fake reviews is another challenging task in the sentiment analysis process. And obviously, one can provide his research contribution to this domain as well. Fourth one is little bit about our research type of means it's a totally domain specific type of research directions that's called corpus-based approaches. Obviously, analysis may need some sort of additional knowledge in order to get better analysis, because computer have no idea about that. We have to feed to computers so that he take a better decision. So there are many people who train the computer by taking corpus, and that corpus may help computer to better classify the tweets or reviews. So one can make his own corpus according to his own problem. For example, if someone is taking reviews from farmers, and there is no corpus available for farmers through which you can train the computer. So one could possible contribution be the same, that that people could take his own corpus or dictionary through which they can they can train the computer. Similarly, another method, one of the most important one is agriculture monitoring research area for the people whose expertise are in agriculture domain. For example, they could build up a chat board, a new chat board in order to provide social awareness of farmers and their collaborations regarding any type of agriculture activity like seeding, environmental dynamics or crop disaster, etc., to provide information to people. So a chatbot is indeed an extra and very well-known opportunity for a people who want to provide expertise to the people, farmers and laymen over there in the field. Not only this, that everyone will make his own model. There are built-in models for a sentiment analysis. There are softwares across the net where one can take and analyze his own data on that process and that software. Definitely, I will provide some sort of introduction of that software as well. For example, there are some sort of softwares that are taking analysis by using knowledge-based techniques that I've discussed, like corpus, etc. Some of the software tools and built-in models taking statistical methods to provide analysis. Some are as a hybrid based. Here in this section, I have some sort of software and their addresses where definitely one can get benefit from that. Here is the list of some of the open available tools and softwares. Like one very well-known tool is a Google Cloud Natural API. Google Cloud, Google itself providing an opportunity to analyze the reviews and sentiments of a people about any topic. So if someone have his own data set or he collected reviews from people, he can use Google Cloud Natural API to analyze it for a particular purpose. There is another Lexalytics Salience. This is also a well-known platform, an application that is openly available free of cost, where you can check your expertise, where you can store your data, and you can also analyze that data. Microsoft also developed his own sentiment analyzer software, that is Azure Text Analytics. Azure Text Analytics is actually a developed tool for big data, where the dimensions of data vary. For example, it could be beneficial for real-time data, where there is an organization collecting reviews and comments for the whole day and whole month. So that real-time prediction, real-time analysis could easily be done by taking Azure Text Analytics. TwinWords and Goose Knowledge Reader, these two are a hybrid of one another and could also be used as a sentiment analytics tool. Not only this, there are some others like Predisect, SAS Sentiment Analysis, and TalkWalker. All these are applications that are openly available, where someone can test their data and reviews on that. As far as the research point of views, there are some well-known research models also available for the sentiment analysis process. For example, this is one of the process model that could be easily adaptable to any of the data set, to any of the domain. For example, this model could be used for product recommendation. This model could be used for plant recommendation. It's depend upon the data that you provide it to. It's a generic model. It's not a specific for any particular domain. In this work, this model is particularly designed for taking review from hotels and restaurants. And on the basis of that, this model can recommend you that whether this restaurant is more suited to you or not. So this model actually taking data from different sources like Twitter's, Amazon, chat boards, or and other public forums. This data is further then pre-processed by tokenizing, stemming, and removing of stock words and URLs, obviously. And the future extraction process is a further step of this model, where each of the reviews is split into different types of features by using POS tagger, is a well-known method of NLP, part of speech tagger, that divide it into different chunks and parts. And finally, a refinement phase will remove the repeated aspects and features from their data. So this 4 steps is basically a generic. It's depend upon the data that you feed to the model. For example, if you feed it an agriculture data reviews about plantations and smart farming, it will split it into different products and features, and then it will also gives a refinement to that feature. And that the end it will calculate the polarity that whether on the basis of these features. Actually, this is about a hotels review, so it will show that whether the features on the basis of the feature, the food quality and the stock cooperation was positive, negative, or neutral. This is another model that is a refinement to the previous one. Here, the writer of this model changed the numerical measurements that have been used. For example, in the previous, there was an entropy that was used, but at this time, he rephrased the classification model by introducing NGD, normalized Google distance. One can also use another type of methods like FCA, formal component analysis, or other well-known methods of machine learning and computer science to make his own model better than that one. This was about another model that is this also an amazing model. This model is actually providing a healthcare services to a human, where one can find out that whether the hospital services are good, bad, or average good, average bad, and to such type of category. The same process has been repeated, but at the end, because of the data set variations, at the end they applied a synthetic method for feature extraction, and of course at the end they classify the reviews on the basis of entropy, a statistical measures in order to check that whether the quality of a software of the hospital and its services are good, bad, or neutral. This one is another approach of software point of views, where a software repository have been designed by taking different features of software. A software features have been obtained from the review and open forum discussions of the people, and a software-based repository, which I have already discussed, that one can make his own dictionary or repository. So this work is totally about that. This person created his own repository of software terms that have been used for the analysis and design. Not only other research peoples are trying, but we myself also provide the contribution to the academia and industries by publishing very well-known research papers in the field of data mining and social media analysis using sentiment analysis. For example, in 2019, when the field was not so mature, when the sentiment analysis field was just at the beginning, we presented an impact factor paper in the well-known journals of Springer. That was the journal of supercomputing, a segregational approach that might be helpful for analysis of a social media. After that, we continue work on that, and we provide in another paper of cluster computing journal of high impact factor in 2020, 19 and 20. It was accepted. This was about, the first one was about just a feature extraction process, but the second one is totally was about a product behavior recommendation, where someone can easily understand that the product is beneficial or not. After that, we diversed our applications to another applications of software engineering, where requirement prioritizations have been done by using sentiment analysis and social media, and this was our another contribution in this domain. As far as the presidential and forecasting elections are concerned, we have published another paper. This was mining public opinion by taking a sentiment forecasting of democratic elections of Pakistan. and it was also published in a well-reputed of Springer Journal almost in 2022. The consequences and the impact of a student on social media was or another publications that we provided, and it was definitely a beneficial for those who want to know about their child and their usage of social media of their child, that how they are using the social media, and it was just a few days ago it's been published. So these were the major contributions that we have provided in the domain of sentiment analysis, and the previous were the contributions that were provided by the different communities and services that will also be beneficial and can further be enhanced by introducing new methods and new tools and technology. So the domains, as far as the domain of sentiment analysis is concerned, it is a very diverse domain. I'm always saying that this could be beneficial not only for computer science community, but it could be beneficial for all those people who want to try to utilize reviews and social media forum discussions. Here at UIIT, we extend this whole work now into the FYP projects, where students can get reviews from a social media forum every day they are using, like Facebook, blogs, and WhatsApp chats, etc. And they are taking different type of analysis from that reviews. For example, some of our students were taking to find out any event that are going to be happened around there. So they take information from the different forums where the event was discussed. And there was an API of Google Trending. They just placed that reviews across the Google Trend, and they give it that what is going to be happen near about that. So its applications may vary from domain to domain, but sentiment analysis and the role of social media is now the part of our community as well as our research. So this was about just social media and its review analysis. I'm much hopeful that you have get enough information about this domain and this research. These are the references. Obviously, most of the papers that we have presented and we have published in this domain. And thank you about this. Any type of questions, any type of suggestions would highly be appreciated, please.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. I hope today's presentation is very informative for researchers and all the participants. And I must want to say thanks to everyone who has participated in this activity and make it successful. And on behalf of the Dr. Asif Nawaz, I want to ask the participants if there is any question they can ask, please.
Please.
So I think most of them are relating to computer UIIT, so everything is I think clear. So once again, I must want to say thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the participation. I'm very thankful to all of you, especially Madam. It's very thank you for you as well. Thank you.
Okay, inshallah, we'll see you on next Thursday.
Inshallah.